Hi, fellow traders. I'm running a little bit late tonight. Wednesdays is my busy day. Had class and had a couple mentor sessions, and then Forged in Fire comes on tonight. So I had a full night. But better late than never, right? So today when I woke up this morning, my scans were full. It's 7 o'clock, and I got like 5 or 6 stocks on my scanner already. And it blew me away because I'm expecting it to be a slow day, a slow start to the morning after the holiday. I purposely scheduled my lab appointment, for early this morning so that I could get back, at least a little bit after the market opens so I could be in place for any secondary moves or anything like that, because I really didn't think that the open would give us the opportunity. Boy, was I wrong. The open, we had some volatility, we had some momentum, we had some stocks moving, but, I thought I had a plan in place. I thought everything was settled with me, but, evidently I didn't, because I wrecked my day. Um, you know, I can't say any put it any other way. I wrecked my day, and the only thing that saved it was a solid earnings trade. But that's just the way it is sometimes. You if things are different, and like this morning, my schedule was all different because of what I had to do, and I didn't think I rushed to come back. I just kind of drove back, came in, and kind of saw an opportunity and seized it. And, it just kind of went from there. But we'll take a look at that here in a minute. But I want to ask you a couple quick questions. Are you struggling with your consistency? Are you struggling with your profitability? Are you struggling trying to grow your account, so you could get out and open up a traditional account? If you said yes to one or all these things, that's what I can help you with. This is what we focus on every day. Now, is it perfect? No. And it's great that it's not perfect, because you get to see and witness firsthand how I handle, losing trades. Trades that have a beautiful setup and I have a nice entry and the trade just doesn't work. How do you handle that? Through it all, you have to be able to accept losses. You have to be able to understand that, hey, no matter what I say, no matter what I think, no matter how beautiful the setup is, it may not work. There may be people in play that do not want the stock to go where I'm thinking it's going to go, and they run it the other way. And it's not anything personal. I just have to accept that fact. I have to make sure that I'm executing my trade plan correctly, and I'm able to get out. My roadmap to success helps you develop consistency so that you're able to be profitable. And if you're profitable, you're going to grow your account. And growing your account is what you want to do so that you can get into a traditional broker. And you'll have your choice, which is even better. So, the specials are going to be there for a couple of days. And you have the opportunity to spend the rest of the year with us and learn this stuff. Really put your trading, on the map. So the opportunity is there. It's up to you whether you want to seize it or not. So again, I can help you with all of these things. The 6-month special we have comes with 1 hour of mentoring every month. and you take advantage of that, you're going to get to where you want to be. It's just a matter of sticking to the plan, trusting the process, and it can happen for you. All right, let's take a look at what we did today. My first trade was on ANF. This was a 3-minute opening range breakdown. Like I said a couple weeks ago, summertime comes, I'm going to be looking to the 3-minute for entry, but we'll go back to the 5-minute to manage it off of that. So this is the 3-minute opening range low. That's why it doesn't line up with the 5-minute candle, and why you see my entry on the 5-minute candle. It's actually right before the 5-minute candle closes. But I got that entry, and I almost let this one slip a little bit. There was this level here, and I was anticipating this to just fade through this level, and I was going to take some profit, right around 1860, 1865, and I said I better take it here at this level because I don't know what this thing is going to do. So I did take some profit here, and it bounced back and stopped me out at break even. And then it, made the move down to where I was going to take profit. And you can see it sold off all day, all the way down to my next target here. And, really nice selling. But the problem is, how do you deal with this? This is a perfect 3-minute opening range entry. Nothing wrong with this. It's just unfortunate it bounced and stopped me out. And then it made the move. I didn't stay engaged. I wanted more than what this could offer. So, I just walked away from it. So we did lock in a couple bucks, around $84. And I don't really have any regrets. I had to take the profit here with the stock reacting the way it was at this level. It only makes sense to take profit because this thing could have bounced and it could continue on and just ate me up. What you'll see is what happened later on in the day. But, all in all, I feel good about the entry on this being a 3-minute. I feel good about taking profit when I did. And I stuck to my stop. And I do the same thing tomorrow. So, okay with this trade. Not real happy about, it bouncing back and stopping me out. Really frustrated with the volatility that it had and the choppiness. Not so much the volatility, but the choppiness that it had. So that's ANF. CPRI, this is the one that kind of broke my back. And this was a solid trade here. I was looking for the secondary move, but I was waiting for it to get below this level. You can see how this held up as support here. We had the 5-minute. No, this is the second candle. This is the second candle that came down and tested. And, we had to bounce. So I'm thinking, all of this is starting to slow down. We're getting closer to 10 o'clock. I felt comfortable and confident getting in this. And as soon as I got in, we bounced a little bit. And that seems to be the MO of the day for me. I got in, and then finally we got to move down. It just didn't get to where I needed it to be. It didn't get there, so it bounced, and then here we started selling off. I was like, yeah, I think we got it because we made a lower high, and this bounce was a lower low, but then this thing caught and had this huge candle that ran up. I mean, it negated almost 45 minutes to an hour that I've been waiting on this stop to do something. And I ended up getting stopped out on this little pump here, and I had to stop out. I couldn't close my eyes and then hope that this thing was going to work. I had to be honest with myself, stick to my strategy, and stick to my stop. And, unfortunately, it turned around and came back down. I could have easily turned around and got back in this and made it up. But I just didn't like the way this one candle pulled all the way back. And, I wasn't too sure how much room we were going to have to work. And this thing eventually came on down. Would have been a solid trade for me. A solid trade. But just didn't work out. This is one of those that there's really nothing you can do about it. Somebody drove it the other way. They squeezed it. And I was one of the victims. And it's just no other way you can put it. But this one was the one that broke my back. It took me down 324.92. Now, I wasn't down that. I still had this positive trade here to work off of. So I wasn't over $300 in losses. At least not yet anyway. So that was that. And then I get the bright idea that, hey, the market looks like it's going to run up. So I'm going to jump in Apple and run it long, alongside the market. We should get up to this level here, this, intraday high. And that's a good spot for me to take profit here. So if you ever want a lesson in picking the top of a pop, I'm the guy. Because I got in and I bought the top of this pop. Because as soon as I got in, this thing washed out and we just worked our way down. Ended up getting stopped out here under the 200. And so since we were selling hard, I was like, what the hell? I'm going to take this thing short. We made a lower high. This thing is looking weak. Doesn't look like we can have any pushes. So I get in. Immediately, it makes a run up, but it's a lower low. So I'm still going to hang on to the position. Had this candle open higher than this candle, it would have taken me out. But sold off. Almost got to where I wanted it to be. I think probably within 10 cents of it. And then it bounced all the way up. But, as long as we were still in a downtrend and we didn't confirm a move over this level here, I felt pretty good. And so we pulled in and we started to see some reversals going, reversal in action going on. And I ended up covering it. Only a couple bucks is what it turned out to be. And I still ended up red overall on the name, because of this trade here. But, that was that. Like I said, I was just wrecking my day. Because now you can see I was down. I was down in the dumps pretty good. And then we had a couple of stocks that I was looking at for earnings, but this was the one that I focused in on. This is the one that I left for you guys, to look at for earnings. And, I told you the daily chart. You look at the daily chart. It looked like they were beating it down so that somebody could buy it up. So in my research, I saw where one of the officers in the company ended up buying shares of this. So for me, and looking at the numbers, everything screamed a gap up. And that's what I was looking for. So I positioned myself. I like the way this traded all day. we were baiting in these guys that wanted short so bad, and bam, made the move. Was able to scale out 3 times. I wanted to get to 77, but it was close to time for the class and I had to log out. It's almost impossible to watch these and talk in the, and teaching something totally different. So it was just best that I got out of it. And, that was what pulled me out of the fire. 723.47 is nothing to sneeze at. No, I'm really happy with this trade. This kind of negated everything that happened today. And I said before I left to go get my son, that's what I said. A good earnings trade would make me forget the struggles from the day. And sure enough, that's exactly what it did. But really nice textbook. And if you were in chat after the class, I went over the process that I used to identify this and to help me build my conviction on which way the stock was going to go. This is a strategy. It's not a fly-by-night. It's not just looking at the chart and guessing which way it's going to go, because that's almost impossible. Case in point, look at KEYS. Look at the setup on this. Like I said, this was a bearish setup, but the numbers and everything I found told me it was going to gap up, and sure enough, it gapped up. So really, really nice move on this. So let's take a look at PANW. This one was on earnings as well. Look at the setup. The chart pretty much looks the same, right? Kind of looks the same as the KEYS, before it reported. Kind of looked the same. Here, this one went up. And this one, if you go back through and look at the fundamentals and everything concerning earnings, you would have seen this as a gap down. Virtually the same setup on the daily chart. One gapped up, one gapped down. And so you can't, the same setup looks the same. It's going to give you two very different results. So you have to be aware and know that if you're going to trade strategies like this, you've got to do your homework. You can't just run a scan and pick something and trade it, hoping that it's going to go up or down. So you never want to do that. So that wraps it up for me. This day is done. We're going to get back at it tomorrow and see if we can continue to build off of it. Slow and steady wins the race. But you guys remember, we're starting with our micro account. I call it a micro account in June. First week of June. It's got less than $800 in it. I don't know where it's going to be after the platform fee comes out. But we're starting with that. Now, last summer, you saw me start with $1,000. By the end of the year, I had made 10 grand. You say, that's really not that much. But look at it, $10,000 out of 1,000. And let me tell you, I had, I spun my wheels for a whole 3 months. The whole summer I was spinning my wheels. All because I had unrealistic expectations for that account. And we know what to expect now. And I want to show you guys that if you are disciplined, if you're patient, if you have confidence in your trading strategy and you're able to accept losses when they come, and you focus on the big picture, not individual trades. Because too many times we take 3 or 4 losses and we can't accept them, and then we go move on and try to do something else because we think this strategy doesn't work or this strategy doesn't work. Every strategy that you trade is not going to give you 100% accuracy. And your accuracy is not about whether the strategy works on the trade that you're trying to trade. The accuracy you need to track is, did you execute the trade right? Did you do your job? Did you enter when you were supposed to? Did you hit your stop out when you were supposed to if it went against you? Did you hit your profit targets, or did you move things around because you were scared you were going to lose money? You know, things like that we're going to be focusing on. And like I said, that roadmap to success will help you deal with all of this stuff. Plus, I'm there every day. I can help you deal with it. So come on in, spend the rest of the year with me. Let me help you realize your dreams. You know, once you join, you'll never pay another dime for any class or anything I offer. The only extra you'd end up paying, if ever, would be if you want more mentoring time. You know, other than that, once you're in, you're in. You're family, and that's the atmosphere that we like to run. So you guys take it easy. Have a great night, and I will see you guys in a couple hours.